Hey, how are you? Welcome. What is going on? Uh-oh, I'm losing pieces here. These are some tree cutoffs. They are layered. We're gonna paint them up real quick. And then we're gonna use some of the new holiday stuff. So let me just find my thing real quick. And then we'll go. We're gonna use this Waverly paint. I just got this. It is Fern. So you can comment the word tree. Let me see if I can find my video too. Y'all, I woke up this morning with a sore throat. I don't know what's going on. Hi, Lisa. How are you? Let's see. There we go. All right, so I'm going to just use one of my little makeup sponges. And I just added a little bit of water. Hi, Lori. How are you? Hi, Cheryl. Good afternoon, my friends. So my mom's here right now. She's brought over a bunch of big blankets and pillows and stuff to wash in my washer because I have a bigger washer. And we're gonna go get a pedicure. So I wanted to come on before we do that, and I'm gonna actually move over to these smaller pieces. So as you can see, there are some like cut out pieces. I'm gonna do those with the sponge, and then I'll come back with the paintbrush for the larger trees. It's just the background anyways. But you know I like to paint the back part. Even if you're not gonna see it, I think it's important. Hi Stephanie, how are you? So you can comment the word tree to get the link to get all this stuff, okay? Now again, we are using one of the new patterns. And y'all, this new launch, it did not disappoint. I am so excited about all the transfer designs. I don't think it's actually that hot even here. It's been storming for the past couple of days, so it's kind of cooled down a little bit, but I honestly don't know what's happening to me. I woke up this morning, y'all, with the worst headache, sore throat, no like symptoms of anything. I think it might just be sinuses, maybe because the wind is blowing all this stuff in the air. I don't know, but not feeling great, that's for sure. But I do want to go get a pedicure today, and you know, little self-care. Hi Anita, how are you? Welcome. All right, so my tape is not that sticky apparently. That's good. There's a lot of paint on it, no wonder. So I'm trying to both hold these down and not get paint on my fingers, which is a task. Hi Janet, how are you? Welcome. Thanks for joining us. So if you've never messaged with me before, you might have to check your message requests. But once you do that, you'll see the message that you got whenever you commented the keyword. And you can go and get the stuff I'm using on sale today. It is not tonight yet. It's only 3 o'clock here. I'm hoping that we can get out of here and go get a pedicure before it gets too late, which I think this project's gonna be a quickie. Okay, so there is all of my little tree parts painted. I'm gonna use a paintbrush for the rest. Hi Deborah, happy Saturday to you, my friend. Welcome. So I'm gonna just do probably a messy paint job on the backs of these trees. This part you won't even see. But in case if I mess up on my gluing, I always like to have the backer painted. Just in case, because sometimes I don't line things up great. And then that way it just ensures that all my pieces are the same color at least, right? So it's not going to be the best paint job, but that's fine. Okay. And then these do come with stands, okay? So it's 3 trees, and they all have layers to them. And we're going to go ahead and put them together. And then this is the winter toil pattern. Or no, sorry, winter florals, excuse me. I misspoke. was thinking winter toil. That one's another one. It's kind of a vintage looking transfer. Y'all, we're gonna have so much fun. Hi, Bobby Joe. How are you, love? Welcome. Thanks for joining me. All right. Okay. So yeah, my mom's here and she's sitting right there actually, but she came in my room and she was like, this is really, despite the mess, it's really nice in here. And I'm like, it's a freaking nightmare is what it is. I swear, this room was very organized when I first moved into this house, and now it's just like a dumping ground for any and everything that might be craft related. I mean, I still have bags of Dollar Tree stuff that I bought, but I haven't even unpacked. Okay, so there's all my trees. I think I'm probably good. Even for the top pieces, I think I'm all right with the paint on those. Now we are going to use that pattern transfer over the top of all of them. So I think we're good. Now, trying to remember what my plan was here, but let me see. I should have kept out that, oh, hello. Y'all, I swear I'm losing my mind today, okay? Definitely that's happening to me. I'm doing good. I woke up with kind of a, I don't know what's going on with me, like sinus thing happening. I'll survive it, I think, maybe. All right, so these are the bases. They come in two pieces, okay? Those ovals. I'm gonna paint the bottom part this green color, and then the top I think we're gonna do black, okay? So, super easy with my little makeup sponge. And then I have some black paint here that we're gonna use. Hi Elizabeth, how are you? Everyone's saying hi, Mom. Hi Alma.
Hi everybody.
I hope y'all can hear her. She says hi. All right. Quickly gonna just, now I do want this black on the base to be a good coverage because it's gonna be showing, so trying to do a good job on that. And then if we need to, we can come back and just touch up any spots. I've noticed that whenever I use black on these cutouts, it works fine, but I sometimes don't get a really good full coverage on the first go. So sometimes I do have to come back. I guess once it dries, you can kind of tell. There we go. Now, do keep in mind that these slots are perfectly sized for the trees, okay? But whenever you paint those trees, the paint is a thickness. Thank you, Bobby Joe. I hope so too. The paint adds just a little bit of thickness. So if you get to a place where you're trying to put your trees in the little stands and they don't fit after you painted them, just take a sanding, like a piece of sandpaper, and just sand it just a little bit, like a 220 grit, and that should help you be able to fit them in there, okay? That's what I found, that they're like perfectly sized. So you get a little paint on there, especially if it's real thick, you might struggle to put them into the stands. Now I'm just doing a rough white paint on these snowflakes. I have some glitter that I want to use on them, so I'm just making sure that I paint them white first, and then I have some Mod Podge that I pulled out. We're gonna let these dry and then Mod Podge and then some glitter. So just give it that little bit of, exactly, a nail file in the slot. Perfect idea. I love that idea. All right. Hi Judy, so nice to see you, love. All right, I'm gonna dry these real quick so that we can go ahead and add some glitter to our snowflakes, and then we can do the transfer, or put the trees together and add the transfer on the trees, and then, y'all, we're like basically done already. Hi Joanne, how are you? Welcome. All right. And I pulled out a piece of printer paper to pour this glitter over so that I can put it back in the jar once we're done. So I'm gonna take that and just set it to the side over there. And then I just have a plain piece of paper here, okay? So here's what we're gonna do. I have regular Mod Podge. Any type is good. I like the matte, but it doesn't matter. It's not gonna leave a finish on there because I'm just using it to glue on the glitter now. Hopefully this is gonna work. I'm gonna go ahead. So I have my fan on in here because it was hot. I was running around before this. So I'm gonna just do 2 at a time. I don't want this to dry. Mom, would you mind turning off that fan? It is blowing too much. Thank you. All right, so I don't know if y'all can see that, but just a little bit of shimmer added. That I think is gonna be perfect. So I'm gonna set those to the side and then we can do the next ones. Oops. I just dipped the wrong end of my little makeup sponge into the Mod Podge, so that's how it's going, I guess. That's fine. We're gonna have glitter all over this desk by the time I'm done, but whatever. It's fine. I like glitter anyways, personally. All right, there's my next one. And this is just perfect. I think that's gonna be just the little pop that I am looking for. And these little makeup sponges are working perfectly to add the Mod Podge. Rather than a little brush. I hate using a brush anyways with Mod Podge just because I never really want to wash my brushes and I don't want to destroy it. No, I haven't ordered it yet. I need to do that. I have not, but that would be really pretty on here too. Okay, so there's my last one. And I'm just going to probably, ooh, that's easy to take off, thank God. Okay, so I'm gonna just take my paper and oh God, pour it back in. As much as possible anyway, it's fine. I know I just sent glitter all over the floor, but whatever. Me and Chris are both gonna, endos are all gonna have glitter on us for weeks, I'm sure, after this adventure. Okay, so I'm gonna let those just simmer over there. And I've got all my pieces, so let's pull these all off. And we'll start putting all this stuff together. And about this size is when I throw away my little makeup sponges. I think that was probably using it 3 times. It's about my limit for them. I end up making a bigger mess if I use them whenever they get smaller than that because I end up with paint all over my fingers, and that's the whole point of using those, is to not be making a mess, and then I end up doing it, so it's just not worth it for me. But those are so cheap anyways, they're great. And I don't have to clean them, which I am definitely into anything I don't have to clean. Alright, so again, you can comment the word tree. And let me see. Okay, I was there. To get the link to get all this stuff that we're using. All right. trying to keep them separated so that I know which tree is which. Then I don't have to try and fumble with them. All right, there we go. Now, this is the small one. So I do want to definitely set these pieces on, make sure that I know what I'm doing before I start doing it. Yeah. And that I have all the right pieces here with me, okay? So I'm going to use my favorite little glue, Eileen's glue. Hopefully it's gonna hold good enough on this. Just because it gives me a little bit of freedom before it actually locks in place. And that I feel like I need with this project because these need to be pretty well lined up pretty good, okay? But we're gonna put them together, let them sit for a minute, like in between, and then we'll go back and start at the little one. Aren't they so cute? So you could add like a little bit of snow to them or whatever you want. You could even do them fall if you wanted to and get another set for Christmas. Up to you. All right. There we go. So there's our first one. Okay, I'm gonna let it sit so that glue can really cure. And then we'll move on to this big boy. Again, just making sure I have all my right pieces and I know where they go before we start. All right. Yeah, I think this one's gonna be really cute, Judy. And I mean, you could even add, you know what would be really cool, actually? What I think I'm gonna change my plan, y'all. Just like that. I'm gonna pull this back out because I have a plan. With glitter. Show you a little something new that I haven't done in quite some time. How does that sound? Since I already have glitter all over the place, I might as well. Go big or go home, right? Oh, goodness. There's a pillow and a huge blanket in that washer in there, and it's starting to turn. Okay, now there's our second one. I don't want to hold it up too much, just because that glue's not quite done. Hi, Paula, how are you? Welcome. Thanks for coming to hang out with us. You can comment the word tree to get the supplies for this project. All right. And we're using one of the new transfers from the launch that just happened, what, yesterday? Day before? I don't even know. I think it was day before. My washer is questionable right now. I wash a bunch of heavy stuff all the time in it, and I haven't had trouble with it, so. At my old house, my other washer would rock the house and quit running because it was pretty much consistently out of balance. But this one, I haven't had trouble with it, so. Maybe I'm not filling it up as much. I don't know. Okay. So there's that. That's our third one. Okay, so let's put these little stands together real quick. So these are just layered stands, and it just gives it a little bit more stability. So I am going to use hot glue on these. Just going to go around and set that right in the middle, just like that, okay? For all three of them. And then last one. Okay, so our stands are ready. Let's make sure these are this is kind of questionable, so I want to give it just a little bit more time. I started with this small tree and it's almost there. But I guess if you're going to use Eileen's glue on these, you might want to use a little bit of hot glue too to just set them right away. Okay, but there's my first tree. It is a little bit still trying to dry entirely, but I think it might be okay. So I am going to wax these. Just a little bit of wax goes a really long way, okay? And the purpose of waxing is basically to protect the surface that you're going to be chalking on from the transfer, like pulling up the paint, okay? So you're going to want to wax not only to protect your surface, but also to protect your transfer, because whenever you pull up paint, it pulls up onto the sticky part of your transfer, and then that stuff is not coming off of there. So that one was still a little bit probably too wet to be messing with it like that. And this one is still wet also, so I'm just gonna gently I don't want to move them around at all, okay? Because I finally got them in a place that I think is good. Okay, so there's that big one, and it's a little questionable still as well. All right, so here's what I want to do. So I'm going to take this paper and, well, you know what? I'm trying to figure out a place that I can put it. All right, so if you didn't know, you can use Mod Podge with our transfers, okay? It's basically like the same consistency as that glow-in-the-dark paste is, and it works fabulously. So I'm gonna just pull up my transfer a little bit. And I'm going to fuzz it, okay, for my first tree. A couple times. It's probably, I'll do it 3 times, okay? There we go. And then I'm just going to take my little tree and put it right underneath there. I'm going to make sure it's pressed down really, really well. And mini squeegee, just like always, okay? This is, again, just regular Mod Podge. This is matte. It's nothing special, okay? You can get the matte, the glossy, whatever, okay? So I just literally, that's how much I have on there. You're gonna do it just like you do with paste. Make sure that you have this really well stuck down. And just pull that across the surface, okay? make sure that you get the whole design in there. And pull it up. Okay, and now you have Mod Podge on there. Now I have my little paper here and my glitter that I had earlier. Now Mod Podge dries clear, okay? So you just want to get yourself a nice layer of glitter on there. Okay. And then, oh goodness. When you tap it off, you're gonna have a glittered tree. Okay, now once it's fully dry, I'm gonna kind of dust it off a little bit more. It's really sticking, probably because of the wax, potentially. Hi, Shanna, how are you? Hey, Brooke. So set that right over there. And then we're gonna do our second tree. And I'm gonna do it right up here. Oh gosh. Same thing, I'm gonna fuzz. Just a little bit. This part is critical, but we did wax our surface first, okay? So hopefully that will help us in protecting the paint. So I feel much more confident with this tree. It feels like it's a little drier than that other one was. And again, I'm just pushing it down really well. And pulling that Mod Podge all the way across the whole silk screen and getting it in the whole design, okay? There we go. Just like that. All right. And then whenever you pull it up, you'll see your design. Just like that, okay? And then bring our little paper over here and get you some glitter on there. Now, if you hate glitter, I'm sorry, but I love glitter. Makes me happy. But if you don't want this to shed all over your house after you do it, you will probably want to take it and spray it with a crystal clear spray paint, okay? And that will help hold some of the glitter on so it doesn't shed. Okay, there's that one. And then, I'm gonna hopefully not spill that everywhere in this room. But one more time, we've got one last tree to do. So we're gonna use this bottom left corner. Pull it up, fuzz it again a couple times. Make sure you add a little bit of lint to the back of that sticky transfer, especially when they're brand new. They are super duper sticky. And whenever I get done with this, I will clean this transfer just like I do every other one that I use paste on. I'll take it in the kitchen, I'll run it under the sink, use a board eraser on it, and just plain water and no chemicals or anything like that. And Mod Podge is washable, so it will come right out of that silk screen and I'll be ready to go again, okay? But you could try different colors. You could try doing, you could even put down paste and then whenever you pull it up, adhere the glitter to the paste. Try that. You'd have to work quickly because matte paste dries pretty fast, especially with these real thin transfers. But that would probably work. I don't know. I haven't tried it, but if you do, I'd love to hear about it. All right, last one. We're going to glitter it up. Tap it off, and there's our treat. Okay. Let me get all this out of the way so I don't make a mess of some sort, spill Mod Podge, spill glitter, be a gluey, glittery mess in here. Even worse than it already is. Well, there we go. Sure y'all enjoyed watching me struggle to get that thing open. All right, just pour it right back in. And hardly any waste there. Okay. Now, I want to bring all these back over here, and I want to make sure that I dry them really well. Now, whenever I dry them, glitter is going to be flying, so it's fine. Everything I own is already covered in glitter, so Chris included. Whenever we first started dating, I had this glitter lip gloss that I used to wear all the time, and this poor man would go to work with glitter, like one glitter piece on his eye right there, like, that's how you know he loves me, because he doesn't mind going out of the house with glitter on him. Okay. So now we have our little snowflakes that we put together earlier, and these are sized according to which tree they go with. So I am gonna use hot glue for this, just because I want it to stick really well, but I'm gonna try to not have it be clumpy under there by just putting one little dot and then kind of spreading it. Just like that. Hopefully that will be good. Sometimes I find gluing on top of a transfer design doesn't always work great with hot glue only, but hopefully that will stick. Okay, so there's my first one. Look how cute that is. Really liking that. And then it stands perfectly in its stand, just like that. I'm loving these, so make sure that you try that. If you love glitter like I do, definitely use it with our transfers. Just remember that you do still need to clean the transfer, okay? Don't leave it and expect to be able to use it again without cleaning it, because that Mod Podge is going to dry in there, okay? So there's our first one. I'm definitely not going to be able to hold up all of these, but there's two. I hope y'all love this. If you do, you can comment the word tree. You can get all this stuff on sale today. And I just love you all so much. I appreciate you hanging out with me, and we'll talk soon, okay? All right, y'all. Have a good afternoon.